Greetings and salutations live from Spokane, Washington. We have
Ken and Sean with Ken's Creations.
Hello.
Welcome everyone. We went a little bit early because sometimes we have technical difficulties and things don't happen.
So far we're good.
We went a little early. We'll give everyone a few seconds here to start to join.
We had 12 and now we're down to 10. What the?
Well, that happens.
He probably went, oh my goodness, I forgot to come back.
So anyways, hello everyone. We got our EasyPress today from Cricut. I'm so excited. This is, I know everyone is talking about the Cricut Maker, but this here, I'm telling you what, this sold out quick. Right now, Cricut is out of stock with these.
Wow.
They are supposed to get them back Wednesday. So hopefully we'll have them in stock. And just to answer some quick questions, this is live right now. If you don't have a live little bar in your window, that means you're watching it later. Down below, I've given you all the links to everything we're talking about. I have also given you some links to some helpful links on the Cricut page. Basically about, how to use this, tips, tricks, frequently asked questions. So those are down below. I've given you the link to buy the EasyPress at Cricut, which right now, like I said, is out of stock. But there's also the Michael's and Joanne's link. If you cannot wait until Wednesday, you can definitely get those there. And I've also given you links to all of the material we are using in today's video. So we're going to show you what comes in the box. We're also going to show you some quick projects using this. And we're going to use... give you some tips and tricks and stuff. Now, I do want to let everyone know that the silicone mat that Cricut originally released with this that you saw in our videos is being reformulated. We found out at the Cricut Maker event that silicone mat was absorbing heat and it was actually interrupting the projects, and some of the heat transfer or iron-on wasn't sticking because of that. So they're reformulating it. Once I know that it has been re-released, I will let everyone know. So that is the reason why you can't buy that. It's actually been taken off the site. So we have a lot to do, so we're going to jump right in. This EasyPress box just came. It's a pretty big box, I have to say. So we're going to dive right in and see what's in here. Now, Sean is watching questions, and will try to interrupt me when there is certain questions. But if we miss a question... What?
Oh, it looks like it flipped the other way.
Oh,
where it actually flips like this.
Gotcha. All right, so let's take a peek in here.
Let's do this.
So the Cricut Maker had this too, which I love. And so right away we have this amazing, it's like you're at the Oscars, you know? Like you're opening your Oscar package. So in here you have your EasyPress guide, and this gives you some pretty important stuff. Not only is it going to give you all of your information, you're welcome, how to use it. However, it's also going to give you a very important chart. Now, if you do not have this chart or you want a digital of this, I've given you the link down below. I would save it on your computer. It gives you a little bit more materials because this is going to be instrumental. So,
yes, you
have this. Oh, it looks like they've also given us a practice project. So you have all of these steps, including materials to make your first project. You have another quick reference chart of different materials and how to use them. You have your warranty and FCC statement. We're not going to be doing our first project because we already have some other stuff cut out. But I'm going to put all this back in the envelope because this is very important information that we're going to want near me. And
so somebody asked about if they can't get the silicone pad, what can they use? Which is a great question. The main thing is that you want a hard surface. You want to make sure it is heat resistant of some kind so it doesn't, burn up. Which would be if you had a silicone mat, i.e. like a sil pad.
Well, you just want to be careful with silicone mat because certain silicones are going to get too hot.
Right.
So I know that a lot of people are using towels. Some people are just using their hard surface. So I think as long as you have a flat space,
yep,
you should be good.
Melody, I saw Melody. She was using a piece of granite, which would be a really good one.
Ah, granite.
Yep, she used granite and it looks great.
All right. Here it is, guys. It's in here. I'm just going to rip this open. Is that okay? I'm ripping it open.
I don't care what you do.
Okay. So here it is. I'm so excited for this, everyone. I'm excited for the maker, don't get me wrong, but I'm really excited for this. So you have your EasyPress. There you guys go. That whole
9x9.
9x9. It's so
It is a ceramic nonstick.
beautiful. And then you have your base plate.
Kind of a dark charcoal gray.
Yep.
Hard plastic outside with some large silicone. These parts here are silicone. Probably 500 degrees or better rating.
Yes. And this can go into a standard outlet. So we have...
Thank you, Sheila. That's right. You can use butcher board.
Yes. So a quick overview of what it looks like. So the great thing on this is you have, of course, your EasyPress. You have the power button, temp, timer, plus and minus. This is the go button here. There's a sticker here that basically gives you high temperatures. They can cause burn or injury. Use with caution. Very light. I don't have my weight. I might go grab that, but...
It was 4.9 pounds, so basically 5 pounds.
5 pounds. And then here is the base. Now this has a 10-minute shutoff, so if you've turned this on and you come back and it's off, it's because that's a safety feature, a very good safety feature.
And that means that if it hasn't moved, it senses that there's movement, so if it hasn't moved in 10 minutes, it'll turn off.
If it hasn't moved. So like if you pick it up, it's not going to be just that 10 minutes. So we have our first here. So basically we can set our timer. Once again, if you have this, it's going to give you all of your information on exactly how to use this. But setting the temperature is pretty easy. All you have to do is basically click on that little button here. So right here, you have this booklet. So you want to make sure you have this. But basically you set the time and temperature and you wait for it to basically get that color you need. So we're going to first do our temperature. Now what we're going to do before we start our projects, we actually have cut some stuff out so we can play around with this. I'm going to show you a trick. I haven't weeded my my projects yet, but I wanted to show you a quick trick. So I'm going to turn my temperature here and I'm going to have it go up to, let's do 350.
You want to do 350? Because some of which one are you going to do first?
Well, I'm weeding first, so I'm just trying to heat it up. So we can always change that.
Okay.
So we're going to have this to 350. I'm not too worried about the timer right now, but we're going to wait for this. You're going to notice this here is a little red light, and we have to wait for it to get a green light. Now, what I'm going to show you, I'm going to kind of push this off the side.
Can you use glass mat? Probably, as long as you don't break it, as long as it's solid, you should be able to use it.
I do have my bright pad here, and that reason why is this will help me with my weeding. I also have my Cricut weeding tools, which are a new set, and I have one of my favorite tools that I normally use to weed. Now, one of the tricks I'm going to show you here is when you're weeding, so here's a perfect, we're going to be making a shirt here. This can be kind of a tedious, you know, basically you're trying to get it, and I'm going to show you this trick that I was shown, and it's changed my life. We do need to let this get a little bit hotter. Now this here, the mat I am currently using, is a mat from my heat press. So this is what you would actually, so it's a very dense, what would you say this material is?
I think it is a silicone material as well. It's almost like it's like bits and pieces of silicone glued together, but yeah, it's a silicone mat.
So basically this trick, what it is before you weed, you're going to heat up your mat, whatever mat you're using, and you want to heat it up for about 5 seconds. Basically you're getting the mat warm. Then you're going to put this with the protective sheet down. So this would be the sheet that you've mirrored it. Basically we're going to put it on this, basically heat up the glue a little bit, bring it over to our bright pad, and it's like butter. It comes off like butter. It's amazing. So really, you know, anything really can be kind of easy weed. So we're at 345. As soon as this turns green, we can do that.
You notice how fast this was. If we were trying to do this heat on the heat press, it'd take forever. This thing heats up very quickly.
It does.
I mean, very quickly. We only talked, what, 2 minutes of that?
Yeah,
and it's almost at temp.
Yeah. So it heats up very quick. We probably don't need to wait for it to get to the 350. We just need it to get to a hotter temperature. So basically, that's kind of what we're waiting for right now, is to get this heat up. And then I'm going to transfer it over here. We did get smaller shirts. Oh,
there it is.
That's so cute. Love it. All right, so Sean, I'm going to have you go ahead and show him what we're doing here. So he's going to lift this up.
And we're just going to heat this surface up just a little bit. And since we don't have to move it, it's 9 by 9. This is a nice small piece, so you don't have to worry about it. So we're just going to heat it up. There you go. That's nice and warm. I'm just going to lift it up here and move it out of your way.
So I'm literally going to put this right on here and going to get it kind of nice and heat. I'm going to give that to Sean. And then when I bring it over here, I can quickly kind of move and look at this. By heating that up, you might need to heat it up a little more, Sean.
No problem.
I let it cool too quickly. So let me know when that's nice and heated.
I think we did more like 10 to 15, I think.
You think so?
It's been a while since we've done this.
Well.
Okay, there you go. It's got a nice warm spot there.
Okay. So I'm just going to put it on there for about, I guess we can do 10 seconds. And then weeding, just literally, it's so much easier to weed this way. Look at that. Just comes off. Now we do have some pieces in here. Now this is Cricut, and this is their, I guess it's, I call it what fluorescent green?
Hyper green, fluorescent green,
it's
lime
fluorescent green.
It's a fluorescent green. It's really pretty.
So the bright pad, as you can see, works hand in hand with the EasyPress because of your weeding. And it makes weeding so much easier. With that trick, it's super quick, but you're able to quickly. Okay.
Boom, look at that, done.
Done. So that trick has saved us, especially if you're doing a big project.
Even intricate. If it's a lot of intricacy, it's just like boom, boom, boom. It just pops right out of there.
So before we get going, we do want to check our little guide back here. So once again, either have this ready to go or have your quick reference card. Now this is just typical iron-on. So we're going to follow the instructions actually in the book here. But it gives you everything here as if what you need basically on to do the EasyPress. The very first few times, even if you're a pro, I always recommend having this ready to go so you have your instructions. So it tells you, get prepared, set your time and temperature, preheat the base material. So basically we're going to preheat our shirt. We're going to position our design, apply heat on both sides, and then wait for the big reveal. So we're just basically doing light. We're doing 100% cotton. So we're going to do right here, you're going to notice here is 305 degrees for 30 seconds.
How many degrees?
305 degrees. We're doing something with 100% cotton.
So we're going to take this temperature and bring it down to 305. Now, which means now this has to cool off a little bit. So which is fine. I do want to, while it's doing that, I want to show you.
We can center this.
I can feel heat, just because heat radiates. But you can touch this. This is very cold to the touch. Yeah. Everything around here is cold to the touch. Even trying to get my fingers in there, you really can't get teeny fingers might do that. But even still, it's not hot whatsoever. This is what makes it so great to have some young kids to help you out and do their own projects as well.
Well, and I think that's my biggest thing is it's safe. This is not hot. So they've built this buffer around here. So if little hands do come up here and try to touch this, it's not hitting this. Even down here, I can stick my hand down here, which is pretty close, and it's not hot. It's not hot. And you have to imagine the engineering on this because you have something that could get up to, I don't know what, 500?
It's 360 degrees is its top degrees on this.
And it's not melting any of the plastic.
Nope. Not at all.
So the insulation they came up with for this is pretty impressive. I'm going to go ahead and move this off a little bit while it does its preheat so we can get the shirt ready. I did buy kids shirts just so that way it's easier to get on the... These are not for Sean and I. We understand we are not this little. But you're going to want to get your garment ready. So we are going to get this ready to go, and we want to probably press it for about 3 to 5 seconds. You want to make sure you get out any wrinkles. That's the huge thing, because obviously you don't want to put your design on something that has wrinkles and then you now have a thing in that. Yes, Sean.
Also includes, you're also doing this to get any kind of moisture out of it.
Yes.
It may feel dry, but you'd be surprised just putting some heat on here how kind of moisture this thing actually holds, especially if you live in a high humidity area. You want to make sure this is dry.
Yes. Dry is the key. So we are waiting for this to get down to 305. But really, here's our design. It's a little heart, little recycle-icle, see? Reuse, redo, recycle. Isn't that cute?
It was very cute. I like it.
Oh, maybe we should do this on a black shirt. I'm changing it up, Sean.
All right, let's change it up.
We're going to do it on
I think
black.
black would look really nice on
I think that green's going to pop on the black. Uh-oh.
Now,
Uh-oh.
do you need your lint?
I need a lint roller because here it is.
Did you find it? 'Cause I have another
We
one
have
here.
dogs, so we always have lint rollers
Yeah.
to get all the hair off.
Definitely
Because
must.
I will tell you, I have done a heat transfer project and had a little hair under there, and I had to, you have to, you know.
And there it is.
I love that. It's like it's singing to me.
Hi, Midge.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is for 3 to 5 seconds, we're just going to get any wrinkles out. And I'm not placing a ton of pressure on this.
The weight alone will do fine for this part.
Yeah. So we're just going to make sure.
Just like an iron. Just
like an iron, we're going to get it. The nice thing is unlike an iron, this is nice and flat. And now what we're going to do is we're going to position this where we want to. So what do you think, Sean? Does that look good?
Looks, I would say go to your right just a hair. There you go.
Right there?
I think that's fine.
Okay. Now, I've already been asked, do I need a transfer sheet, Sean?
You do not.
So really, what do I do now?
All you have to do now is make sure your timer is set for what we want, which was 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Good. Drop.
And then?
And hit the green button, starts the timer. Now this is using no pressure whatsoever.
No pressure.
This is just the 5 pounds that it weighs. For these very thin, simple stuff, it should be just fine.
Now, in the book, it will tell you to iron both sides. So it's going to tell you to, while that's doing that, position your design, applies the EasyPress, start, timer, hold, EasyPress in place, apply gentle pressure, flip the shirt, and repeat. So we're going to follow the instructions, but the reason we're not putting a lot of pressure is I wanted to show everyone that this does not need a ton of pressure. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
And look at that. So that's good to know. So, there you go.
There you
now
go.
we know.
We have learned.
So what we're going to do now is apply a little more pressure. So the pressure I'm putting is just a little bit. Now, one of the key things on this, and I'm gonna let you guys know, when I did this with the Cricut Make and Take, I didn't apply any pressure. I'm so used to my heat press that I would just walk away. Did my project turn out as good as yours, Sean?
No.
No, and that was a big key to it. So this is answering the question, how much pressure do we need to apply? Will the weight of it work? Do we need a ton of pressure? And that's very good to know, to see how much pressure we need. Now, of course, we do have it flipped over a little bit there, just because of when we
pulled it up so hard that
we
it kind of
pulled
came
it up so hard. I'm just too excited. Now, it's telling us in our manual that we want to do the other side. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Start.
Little pressure.
Little pressure. Now, what they're going to say in the book is you want a table about waist height. And the reason why is if you're standing up, it's natural pressure. But if I'm sitting down, I have to put more pressure. But if I'm standing up, it's very little pressure.
Your leaning over is plenty.
Now, you do still want to follow any instructions from your heat transfer material, especially if you have something that is what's called a cold peel or a hot peel. And what that means is on a hot peel, you could technically peel this up. On a cold peel, you want to let it cool for a couple of minutes. And we're going to let this one cool. So what did we learn on this? Number one, obviously, we need a little bit of pressure. Number two, removing this. So the thing I just now noticed is these plastic sheets, you got to think of static electricity and it being on that top.
It literally clinged to it.
Yeah, so it literally clinged to this top here. So I was probably a little too aggressive. in removing it.
But that's okay. We learn from a little mistake.
And we learn
now
from
know
a little
what to do.
mistake. Now, if you have little hands doing this, just remember that this is going to be hot for a few minutes. You can also test your peel here by lifting up and seeing if it's ready to go, or if you want to let it cool. According to our book, we want to let it cool for a few minutes before our grand reveal. So it will actually say, let the iron-on film cool completely before you test a corner. If the liner doesn't fit or lift easily, reapply heat for a few more seconds, and that's it. Now, this has been one of my biggest aha moments with any heat transfer I've ever worked. Was, you know, a lot of times I'll start peeling it up, and I'm like, oh, it's you know, it's pulling, and I think it didn't work. It just needs a little bit more heat. Obviously, the timer, you know, it says 30 seconds, but that could change in, you know, altitude. I mean, not the timer, but heat and everything. So we're going to try this. It's been a few minutes, and I'm going to lift up, and this just comes up like so.
Perfect.
Just like that. So then this can get thrown away.
And a good way to tell if you have a good iron-on is that you should almost see the texture of the fabric you're using should actually meld within the self of the stuff here. You should actually see it. That means the
so yeah, you're looking for basically the grain of the shirt is through that. So I mean, you could technically, you don't need a Teflon sheet, but I could. A lot of heat presses will come with what's this here. It's a Teflon sheet. And if you wanted to hit it again, you could put your plastic sheet. You could do it there. I would just be careful not to put your press directly on that without removing that. We do not sell the heat press. This is a Cricut heat press, or excuse me, EasyPress. That's going to be a hard habit to break. And it's from Cricut. They're sold out right now on Cricut's website.
That's very nice for that.
But they should be back. We're hearing Wednesday is what we're hearing. All right, so that was a good thing to learn on.
So we learned a little thing on that. I hope everybody also saw that.
Little mistake. So I wanted to try, we have and love this. This is Cricut Glitter Heat Transfer Vinyl Iron-On. And the reason I wanted to try this is a lot of people tend to think that this is going to be a little tougher just because it is a little bit thicker. But we want to look at our settings. Once again, you want to look at this setting here. And so our glitter is 340 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 seconds. And glitter, I know for a fact, is very much so a cool, a cold peel. So we need to change our temperature because we're only at 305. So I'm going to hit my temperature key. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this up to 340. Once I release, it's going to go ahead and lock in, and this is going to turn red. And we basically wait until we do green.
A question there, Renee. Should you put anything in between the layers of the shirts before applying ATV? You do not. You shouldn't have to put anything in between the two.
We are doing a layer here. We're going to be layering some for you too. So that's a project we're going to be showing you. So Melody did what's called a super chat. And a super chat, basically, while we're waiting for this to get to its temperature, a super chat is basically a way for Melody to show support. She gave us $10. It puts her comment at top of all of the other comments and basically gives us a shout out. You can do it on your computer, and you can also do it on Android devices.
You just can't do a Apple phone or iPad. It can be the laptop or a normal one too as well.
So I'm going to do this trick again. So I'm going to have Sean heat up my mat here. And we're basically going to do it for about, how long would you say?
I'd say 10-15 seconds.
Yeah. I'm going to turn on my bright pad here because the glitter really pops on this when we're doing our transfer. And I'm going to heat this up right here for about 10 seconds. And you'll feel the heat come through. And basically all this is really doing is it's giving your adhesive kind of a flash.
Yeah, it just kind of melts it just a little bit.
So now when I go ahead and peel this, especially on glitter, it just comes right off. Just like that. And I don't know if you've ever used glitter heat transfer vinyl. Sometimes it can be kind of a pain to get it to release from its layers here. So it just heats it up enough to where it should peel right away.
You want to do another one?
Yeah.
We'll just do a quick one. This will just warm it up.
Let me know when I'm ready. I'll kind of still peel here.
Okay, you ready?
Yes, I am ready. So we're going to heat this up.
Gonna just heat up that glue just a little bit. Yes, you can use rhinestones. You should be able to use foil or heat bond. Anything that needs a little heat, you should be able to use it. It's definitely something that we can look into about trying to do. Of course,
Rhinestones?
we don't have any rhinestones.
No, I have rhinestones.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Gosh, I love this trick. It just makes weeding so much easier by releasing that glue. I love it. All right.
All right.
So now on this one, while we have this here, once again, you want to, until you memorize these, 340, and we're only doing 20 seconds. So our timer needs to go down to 20 seconds. So we have that set. And then next thing we want to do, I'm going to turn that off and get this out of the way since we have that done. The next thing we want to do is we want to heat our garment. So I'm going to bring this over a little bit. This one we're putting on white. And once again, Sean, why are we heating our garment? Why is this important?
We're mostly trying to get rid of wrinkles and any moisture in the fabric.
Sean kind of became a little, what I call a heat transfer vinyl or shirt expert when we went to a crop. He was kind of by the heat transfer and helping people. And I will tell you, once you start working with iron-on and making shirts for friends and families.
How easy this is.
It's kind of addictive.
Constant. I know.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to position it. So this is, I'm kind of doing this just by, what do you think? Looks good?
I'll bring it down just a hair, though.
Just a hair. There?
There you go, yeah.
Okay. So, cannot stress enough to read your instructions. So glitter, we're on 100% cotton. So this is this column right here. There's columns along the top and along the side. So we're 100% cotton. We're glitter. That's 340 for 20 seconds. We're going to go ahead, stand up because that's at length, and I'm going to put this on, hit my little Cricut button, and I'm going to apply probably just as if I'm leaning on it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is no need to move it around. There was a question like an iron, do I need to move it around?
No. One of the other questions was, can I use an ironing board? You probably could, but you want to make sure it is pretty solid underneath and there's no gaps. Of, some of those ironing boards have holes or some other things that are on there. And it's hard to say that you should not use anything like that. That's why something very solid like this pad works much better.
Yeah. So we're flipping it over. The instructions do say to go ahead and do both sides, and that's what we are doing on this.
Timer.
What I really like is the light is very different, the red and green, so it tells you very clearly if it's ready or not. And that the beeper is a decent sound, so you can actually hear it.
I'll bring it up a little closer
Yeah.
so you can hear it. Here it comes. And there you go.
So now we are going to let this cool for just a few minutes on this. And once again, if you don't know the instructions, Cricut iron-on comes with this around the iron-on, and in there is all of your instructions. And in there it's going to tell you exactly how to use this product. So for example, this one says, and let cool, then remove lining. And that's important. Some people will say to go ahead and, if there is some stuff out there that is a hot peel, that you're going to take it off as soon as you're done.
Somebody asked, what's the reason for heating the backside? I think it's just wants to make sure that you do have a good adhesive attachment to this, so that's why they said do the front and the back. Now, typically when you do on a heat press machine like we have, it's usually just only one side. And I think because it is putting so much pressure on it that you only have to do it once.
Yeah, and I think it's good to know that the pressure you're applying on this is not, you're not pushing down hard. I'm just doing a general pressure. You're going to want to put some pressure. This machine, even though on certain ones it will be fine that the 5 pounds is enough, I really do feel that you're going to want to put some pressure on this. But the pressure is up to you on how much. One thing I will note is, you guys notice normally if I would turn on my heat press, my lights would be kind of doing this womp womp because it's drawing so much power.
It's drawing a lot of amperage.
Where this is not. And I do think that they advise you to hook this straight into a plug-in, but
unfortunately our plugins are too far away.
Yeah. So I can test this by, it's still a little hot. But it looks good, and I'm just going to slowly peel it back. And what I'm looking for is if it's going to pick up anywhere. But
look at that.
Just like that.
Done. Voila, ladies and gents. Voila.
And let me show you up here how good of a transfer we got on that.
And one of the things we're going to also do is that we want to test the certain ones by washing, right? I think we were talking about that.
We're going to wash them 30 days in a row.
Yeah. Thank you, Angela. That's very nice.
All right. So what we're going to do next is I have some Siser. I know you guys, a lot of people use Siser a lot. And so I wanted to show you how you don't have to just use Cricut with this. Now, what I'm going to do is, Siser, in my opinion, is going to be the closest to the light setting. So once again, I'm 100% cotton. It's the light setting. So I'm going to do this one on, should we do white on this?
Yeah, because we were going to do that one on black.
So we're going to be doing white, but I'm going to go ahead and do the weeding here. So first, let me go ahead and set my, so I'm going to be 305. So we're going to go down in temperature again. So 305. And when we do this, the timer is going to end up being 30 seconds. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn that up so we're all set. And while
I was going to also show you that if you push and hold this, I didn't hold it long enough. There. You can change it to Celsius. So for all our Canadians and other people that use the metric, you can change it to Celsius. Just push and hold temp.
Is blown right now.
There you go.
While we're letting this cool down, I'm going to go ahead and have Sean, though, heat the mat for me so I can start my weeding.
There we go.
Once again, this is just a trick I do. You do not have to do this, but it is a nice way to go ahead and get your weeding done pretty quickly.
I think I turned that all the way down once.
Oh.
There you go. That's probably a little bit.
So all we're doing is we're heating our mat up for about 10 seconds, and then I'm putting this with the liner facing down. I'm letting it heat up basically all of my glue in between these. So now when I go ahead and weed this, I just pick up one little corner. And we've probably cut this a little too big, so we're going to waste a lot of valuable iron-on, which I hate.
This was pre-cut. This was just a piece that was sitting in our stuff, so I think if we were to cut it to size, it would have been too small to use it as anything.
Probably need to heat it up a little bit more. I don't think I left it on there long enough.
That's all right. And look at that, we're ready.
We're ready. So we're going to go ahead and heat this up a little bit more.
Teresa, this mat is actually the mat that we have on the bottom of our actual heat press.
Because they don't have the Cricut silhouette or Cricut silicone mat is being reformulated, so no one got that.
Yeah, they found that it was absorbing heat and not just reflecting it or just keeping it a steady temperature.
Do you want to go ahead and iron the shirt and get that ready?
I sure can.
So what we're going to do while I am weeding this is we're going to get our white shirt ready. This is just a cotton shirt we got at Joann's. It's a kid's size because I want to get it all in the screen. And essentially we're just ironing to make sure our wrinkles are out, the moisture is out, and there's no dog hair. Because we have, 3 dogs and dog hair. Well, 3 and a 4. She's just a little girl. Now this one, once again, for those of you just joining, this is the Siser material. And the reason why I wanted to show this is a lot of people use this material. And there's been a lot of questions around. Certain companies will tell you that you need to apply a certain amount of pressure to their materials. And I wanted to show you that with the EasyPress, you can still accomplish exactly what they're saying.
Okay, ready?
Let me go ahead and move that over here so we can...
It's not hot. Not at all. I'll bring it down just a bit.
Bring it down a bit?
Yep, right there.
This design is from the Cricut cartridge Brooklyn iron-ons. So that's where I got this design. We're going to be doing another design here, a layer design here in a second that I'm super excited about, and I'll tell you where I got that from. Once you have your position, we're going to go ahead and apply this. We already have our timer set according to our quick reference guide. Cannot stress enough to laminate this and make sure you have it. And we're going to be doing the front for 30 seconds and the back for 30 seconds. just applying a little bit of pressure and press our little Cricut head there.
And the question again was, can I use a different, could we use the silicone mat by, and Oliver, it says yes, it's good for 480 degrees. Could you do it?
I just don't know if it's going to absorb the heat.
It may not absorb the heat, but you can also think the thing is so thin, again, you would have to make sure whatever's under here, that, like this stuff here has glue under it, and that you might loosen up the glue on this Formica style cabinet. If you've got granite, probably. If you've got some kind of stone, probably, or even or wood, butcher block, probably. But you've really got to make sure what is underneath that mat. It is very thin, even though it says it's good for 480 degrees for itself, not to melt or anything. I would still be cautious on what's underneath it.
I have that's sticking up a little. All right, so we're doing the back side now, just putting it on the back side, starting that little Cricut
Here
logo.
goes wire.
Putting a little bit of pressure. Now this is once again with the Siser heat transfer vinyl. The first two we use Cricut, so we had the Cricut, just basically what they call their light iron-on, and then we also use their glitter iron-on. And the last project we're going to show you how easy is using layers. So if I was to layer on different layers of iron-on, how does EasyPress do with that? So we just want it to cool for a few minutes here.
I do know that Siser does have where you can peel while it's warm.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh, look at that.
Yeah, theirs is really good for, you can peel, especially their EasyWeed, a lot of it you can peel while it's warm.
Look at that.
Somebody misunderstood about removing dog hair. No, what we're saying is that we prep the shirt by pressing it, getting it flat, moisturizing it and all that stuff, and use a lint roller to get any dog hair. If not, your dog hair is going to be stuck underneath that glue and it's not going to look very good.
So there we go. So that is using theirs. And crunkle it up. We're not... See, and Dawn, I do too. I usually peel Cricut hot and I never have issues, but according to my instructions, I'm not supposed to do that. That's why I haven't.
Yeah.
But yes, normally you would. Okay, so our last design, we are going to be doing a layered image here. I will wait to show you at the end what it is, but we have to peel 3 different layers. We have a purple glitter layer, then we have a black, and then a white. So we are going to have to change our settings a little bit. Not too much, but the big thing on layers. Now, I gave you a link down below. Cricut has on their website a layering with let's see here. Let me go to here. So basically layering iron-on. So basically, how do you use layers? There is no need for the Teflon sheet. You are correct. The reason I brought out that Teflon sheet was I was just doing a final press, and I'm going to let you guys know that's habit. So on my heat press, I have to use that Teflon sheet. I am so trained to go ahead and normally put that on there, but you are correct. So it basically says, how do I layer my iron-on design? And essentially, it is basically broken down how many layers divided by the time. So while I'm getting this ready, Sean, do you want to explain what I mean by how many layers divided by the time means?
So we know that total time typically on a lot of these are going to be like 30 seconds. So if we go and do 3 layers, divide that by 3 into 30, that means 10 seconds per layer. So when you're done, but by the time you hit that 3rd layer and that last 10 seconds, you've done 30 seconds for all of them. So that's what we do.
We are starting with glitter, which is a little bit of a higher temperature. And then we go down in temperature. But I'm going to go ahead and start weeding here while that heats up. So I'm going to heat up this little area here. And I'm going to weed here, and then you guys will see. So we start with this kind of purple glitter. And I've layered on glitter before. I know some people are afraid they're afraid that it's going to not get a good... basically, I guess it's not going to adhere to it. Yeah. But I've never had an issue with Cricut layering theirs. Yeah. I don't know if anyone else has done that. I don't know if some people have decided not to do that, but I've always had really good success. I've never had any issues layering. glitter on top of stuff. So, so we're going to start with that one. This one's the next layer, so I'm going to have you do that again. Heat up
and it's
so I can
already
read.
ready.
And then we have a white, which is our final. And then we're going to go ahead and do that.
Let's see,
This is
Cricut.
is Cricut. This next black one is Siser EasyWeed.
Because we didn't have it. Thank you, Gary.
The top one is actually a glow in the dark.
Yeah, a glow in the dark one, which will actually be pretty cool for this. When you see what we're doing.
I could grab this.
Yeah, second and third on this one is Siser, only because we didn't have any black. And believe it or not, we've used up all of Cricut's white, so we didn't have any more left.
Yeah. So white's obviously my go-to color for most projects. I do a lot of the white color on a lot of projects. So I was out. So I have some on order.
Yeah.
But it just takes a little bit of time. Okay. So the last thing we are going to heat up this. This is a glow in the dark, so obviously on a shirt it's going to be kind of cool looking.
Yeah. And it does glow. I tested it. It does glow.
It does. Maybe we'll show you at the very end.
Yeah, maybe so.
So I'm just heating this up for about anywhere between 5 and 10 seconds, and this just helps with the weeding process. Do you want the shirt to get ready?
I will. I bet I'm going to wait until you can move that over so I can do that. All right. As he gets the rest of that, you probably will see exactly who this is in just a second.
Anybody have any guesses?
Minnesota.
Who is it?
It went by so fast. Yeah, who could this be? Are we doing a giveaway? I don't
On
know.
what?
On
You have a
these
little
shirts.
kiddo, I guess.
You have a little kiddo because this is size small, youth
I went
small.
the smallest
Very good, Robin.
I possibly could
Can you
because I wanted to get it all on screen. So we're putting it on a black shirt. It is 100%
Cotton.
cotton.
If you can move that over there.
And we are starting with the glitter on the bottom, which I know tends to freak people out. But we feel pretty confident it's going to work. Or don't we, Sean? So
I think it
glitter
worked great.
normally only takes 20 seconds, but we have 2 layers on top of that. And those 2 layers we would normally put on for 30 seconds each. So really, we should only do the glitter, I would say, for about 10 seconds.
10 seconds, yeah. If I can get that lint roller, we'll get the dog hair off of here.
You know something is made with love from Ken and Sean's house when there's dog hair.
Yeah, if you get
it
dog
comes
hair,
in our almond roca. It comes in our shirts.
Yep.
Made with love from Ken and Sean.
All right, let's see here. Again, getting the wrinkles out, getting any moisture out.
All right. Where should we put this bad boy? Right there?
Right back them in the mill.
Does that look good?
I like that.
Okay. So once again, I do have a timer. I'm only going to do it for 10 seconds, so I'm going to change my timer now to 10 seconds because of that. And this is only because we are doing layers. Normally, this would be for 20 seconds, but since we're doing layers, we're going to do this, and we'll do a flash one at the very end. So I'm going to do that. Press start.
A little pressure with just leaning over it, and that's all you need. Now, since it is less, we just want to be very careful that when we pull it up, boy, that static electricity, I tell you.
And then we are going to turn it over just really quick because normally we would be doing, oh, I guess we don't need to.
Oh, it's already coming off.
It's already coming off.
Sweet. That 10
So we don't need to worry about
That
it.
10 seconds was good.
So we're going to go ahead and remove that base there. The next color we have is black, but now this is our light. So normally we would do this at 305 seconds or 305 degrees for 30 seconds. We have 2 more layers, so we're only going to do 10 seconds per layer, and then we'll do a final one. But we do want to turn our temperature down because we're sitting at 340. So we do want to adjust that. And you also want to make sure you line this up correctly because I didn't put my sensor marks on there to tell me which way I am. So I want to make sure that, I think that might be upside down. Oh no, it lines up. Okay, just wanted to make sure. So while we're waiting for that, I can go ahead and position this kind of where I want it to. The purple glitter is just kind of poking around the outside. So we're going to put that on. I don't know that for a fact. I just have heard they are getting them in Wednesday. I will say when this EasyPress comes back in stock, do not wait. They let us, they did not tell us they were going to be out on Friday.
We thought it was going to be this Friday.
I didn't know when it was going to be, but I didn't know it was coming out. And it was like, surprise, the EasyPress is out. And they were sold out by yesterday, I think. Yesterday midday. Cricut.com. So I would not wait as soon as I don't know how many they're going to get in stock, but I would not wait because I do not anticipate they'll stay in stock for long because these are going pretty dang quick.
So somebody asked, because this thing is vented underneath this thing, does it get hot underneath? Why don't you lift this whole thing up right now? It is barely, and I'm talking barely warm. And the reason is that when we pull this off, this thing sits on silicone, almost like silicone long pyramids. So it keeps it even farther away from your desktop. So it does not, it does not give off enough heat to heat that up at all.
Yeah, it's not hot at all.
Nope. It's amazing. Again, one of the things they looked at on when they were designing this, that make sure that this thing does not heat up your surface when you put it on.
Yeah, and that's, I think, the big key is we've had this on now for a good 45 minutes, and I can place my hands on the side of this EasyPress, and it is not, it's barely warm. So there is no part, obviously if I picked it up and put my hand on the 9x9, it's going to be hot, but for kiddos around and everything, it's amazing. And like I said, it's got that 10 minutes. So if I was to not touch this for 10 minutes, it's going to automatically turn itself off, which is a very, very nice.
Okay, I wanted to let you know again, I think this may have been mentioned before, back in the past when we first talked about it. The reason you want to go with this instead of using your iron is that because the iron, most irons have one element. It is one element, it's usually stuck in one position, and the thing that we showed at that one video is that it has a variance of between 200 degrees difference throughout the whole thing. This is why people always are moving their iron around on their stuff, because you really don't know where your hot spot or too hot, too cold, or whatever, where this has only amount of between 10 and 20 degrees difference, and the whole thing, there's a coil that goes back and forth all the way through, so it gives you nice even heating all the way from edge to edge. And that is what makes this thing so superior over an iron.
All right, so we have a final layer, which is obviously the most important layer, and I'm going to make sure, sorry my head's in the shot, I'm just making sure it's lined up really good. And I do think that this was meant.
That's right, Renee. You will like it. Sorry to interrupt. Yes, it will be definitely a big difference from iron to this.
All right, so we were going to do a final 10 seconds, and then I'm probably going to leave this one on just a little bit longer to make sure. So I'm going to put this on here, because you have to think, now the bottom layer has had basically 30 seconds now. The middle layer has had 20, and this top layer is only 10 seconds, which is not going to be enough. So I'm actually going to start it again and give it 20 seconds, and we're going to take a peek at it.
Yes, it can, Angela Green.
And I'm just going to pull up a side here. There we go.
Look at that.
And this is what Sean was kind of talking about earlier today. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this with the black under there, but let me see if I can show you. See how you can see the t-shirt thread underneath that?
Well, this one here, you're actually seeing the glitter one, but it's a little harder.
That's what you're going to be looking for, though, on a t-shirt, is that kind of pattern. That means you're going to get it. So there we go. We have a nice little Jack Skeleton, 3 layers. You have your glitter, black, and then white. Now, Sean, could I just put my EasyPress directly on this?
I would say no, you can't, because it's going to melt that product. So no, you cannot put, you can, and it's going to ruin it.
Okay, so that's why I've been using this. It freaks me out to put my EasyPress directly on that. I don't need to use this when there's a protective sheet, but if I'm doing a final press, that's why I've used this. Could I possibly do it? Maybe, but it makes me nervous. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I wouldn't. This is a Teflon mat.
So you don't need to do it when you have your protective sheets like this. So you have this normally. protecting this.
Yep.
But as the final, some people like to do a final press, and that's where I've always used my Teflon mat. We got a dog hair in there.
We got a dog hair in it.
That's going to bug me now. Good thing I have my weeding tool from Cricut, because that will bug me. There we go. So what questions do you guys have? That was the layering.
What did we put under the shirt? This shirt is actually the silicone pad that came with our actual heat press, because we did not get the Cricut one because it had to be recalled because they found out.
Well, they didn't recall it. They haven't released it.
They haven't released it, so they're going to reformulate.
They actually, at the Cricut Maker event, found out that it was absorbing too much heat, which was interfering with the project. You know, we never did the backside, so I'm just going to... I know we don't probably need to at this point, but why not, right?
Why not? Just to give that a little extra.
So I just telling you guys, I am not putting a lot of pressure. I'm basically just leaning on it. So I that's what I really like for this is on my heat press, I would constantly have to crank it down, lock it into place, adjust the pressure if need be, and this does, I mean, just a great job. Look how good that turned out.
Mona asked, could you use a towel? You probably could. Again, on a hard surface, make sure whatever's under that surface.
Tanner Bill has been using a towel, and he says it's been working just fine.
Yeah, just make sure whatever you're using, it doesn't have... Because the glue under this thing could get to the point where it gets soft and could come off the wood, or even put a bubble in your Formica if you're using Formica. Granite, not a problem.
Yeah.
Any stone, really, no problem.
Yeah, this
like
actually is from, they do have, Cricut has the Nightmare Before Christmas set. It was $14.99 for all the images, and it came with him in there. So, and I do know you guys are already going to be asking, I'm sure people, I haven't seen the comment, but I'm sure I will, is I will be interested to see if this holds up in the washings. And I will let you know I've used my heat press before and things haven't held up in the washing, and it was user error because I didn't press it long enough. I didn't get a good adhesion to the shirt. So it will be interesting, but I did see Cricut released a basically showing that they had washed it 30 times and it was fine. After one washing, washed my tote and it was horrible. Like, it was all crumpled and everything, and it still had a great, yeah. And you do want to wash these inside out. So when you wash these, they're going to advise you to turn it inside out to make sure it lasts. And that's on any. It's not just a Cricut thing. That's industry-wide for when you're using heat transfer vinyl.
Yep.
Or iron-on.
The EasyPress, it comes in one size and one size only, and that's 9. The surface here, that surface there is 9 by 9.
Oh, yeah.
And the actual thing here is about 11.5. And it's very cold. It's just,
they want to see
yes, we want to see it glow.
Yeah, so I will turn off all the lights here.
Okay, and
Hold on, they want to see it glow.
Let's see it glow.
Ask and you shall receive. Oh, I was going to get it charged up a little more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sure it's fine, but will you turn off the
side lights?
Hey guys, so this I use the glow in the dark.
Shouldn't take long.
Yeah, ready?
Look at that. Glow in the dark.
Isn't that fun? There's a little light coming in from the window, so I'll try to... Oh, I can't. There's something. But look at that. Isn't that fun? How fun is that? Oh! I wish it was still like dark, like you wouldn't see this, because they would really shine. I don't know, I mean, you can kind of see it over here, but yeah, it glows in the dark. It's so cool. I love this stuff. Like, how cool for Halloween. In fact, we're going to Disneyland, and I might have to get this stuff. Look at that. I love it. So much fun. See what crafting can do. You just get... And then you can proudly wear it saying, I made that. Yeah. I didn't buy it. I made it. And because you have the EasyPress, you're not burning your hands. You're not... I will tell you, I've made a shirt on my heat press, and I don't have the... There's some heat presses that, if this was the heat press, they go like this. Mine doesn't. Mine goes like this.
Yeah, it just flips
And so basically, you're positioning your shirt, and because it's basically a clamp style, as you push it back, I've hit the heat press here, and it hurts so bad.
It's hot.
It's hot.
Don't have to worry about getting burned at all.
No, and that's what I love about it is, like I said, we've had to have had this on an hour almost.
Almost an hour, yep.
And look at, I mean, I can touch anywhere on here. I am touching literally Well, like right there, here's the side. I'm putting my hand on there, not hot at all. I'm putting my hand down here.
There's heat down here, but
you're placing it directly on there.
But that's not enough to burn me.
No.
It's a little warm, but not enough.
Put your hand on that.
No, I don't think so.
What questions do you guys have? I am so excited about the EasyPress. I cannot stress enough. When Cricut gets these back in stock, do not wait.
Yeah.
They sold out. I knew these would sold out. When we had no idea that any of this was being released, but when we saw this in the cases, I knew right away with the temp and timer, I was like, this is some sort of press. I didn't realize this would have the reaction it did. I had more people asking about this than the Cricut Maker, just because so many people were inquisitive and so many people were, you know, how is it going to work without the pressure and stuff? And I've been pretty impressed with this so far. The cost is $149.99. If you're a Cricut Access or Cricut Circle member, you'll get 10% off each of those. Other than that, to my knowledge, we're not able to use any specialty discounts. Like I normally have KK15 for all of the, you can get iron-on, all that stuff. But this is, in my opinion, well worth it. This takes up very, very little space compared to a heat press. It's not heavy. I can pick this whole thing up. Literally, I'm placing my hand on the bottom. This is at 305 degrees. And it's not hot at all. Nope. I can't tell you. This is safe for around kids. Not a lot of pressure. I'm in love with it. Yeah. I think I'm going to be making a lot more. You could. Yeah, you could be able to use the Teflon sheet. It's just, the only thing I'd be making sure is heat transfer on that.
Yeah, again, make sure whatever's underneath is heat resistant.
Yeah. So the... like I said, these should be back in stock Wednesday, $149.99. Just be checking. They should have an alert. Like if you click my link down below, it should say alert me when this gets back into stock. Sign up for that email. Because I don't know how many's coming back in stock, but these are going to go so quick. I know I have asked a ton of people have asked me, will this work with foil? Not heat transfer foil, but foiling on cards and stuff. I'm going to test that. I don't know. I could... It should, obviously it should, because it's essentially a laminator, it's heat, but I haven't tried it yet, so I don't want to answer saying yes without a doubt. Plus, we would have to figure out this temperature here and time and everything. I still think a laminator works better for that process, but definitely we're going to try it. But for me, guys, the biggest thing I guess I'm trying to get across is compared to an iron, there's no comparison between this and an iron. And really, in my opinion, between a heat press, I know there's a lot of naysayers out there saying like a heat press puts pressure and that's what you need. But I don't think you need that much pressure. I think a lot of people are kind of feeling like they need this ton of pressure, and we're not adding a lot of pressure to this. You can do layers just like you normally would. I'm crumpling this up and look at, I mean, I'm very impressed with this product. I can't wait. And to get this out and make a shirt compared to your heat press, heating it up, you can't move a heat press around. It has to be stationary somewhere.
So heavy.
I've moved it twice and it killed me. And every time I'm afraid I'm going to break a circuit because my lights it's like literally I'm bringing Frankenstein to life.
It draws a lot of amperage.
Yeah.
For your answer, Gary, no, this does not unplug from here. It is, it would probably be because it is a heating source, possibly that it's probably more safe not to unplug from there.
Yeah. So, on another note, so the glow-in-the-dark, I just happened to have, once again, I had Siser's brand of the glow-in-the-dark.
Does Cricut have it?
I'm not sure. I don't believe Cricut does have glow-in-the-dark, so that's why I have the Siser. Maybe they will need it now.
Yeah,
they will need glow-in-the-dark because it's so fun for Halloween. I love it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I do want to give everyone a heads up. Sean and I are entering what I'm calling the video commotion days. We have so many videos lined up for the Cricut Maker, for the Cricut EasyPress. I have had a ton of people requesting, can you compare this to an iron? Can you compare it to a heat transfer? Or I mean to a normal press? Can you do the washing test on the Maker? Can you do this? So we want to do all of these different videos. They just take
A lot of time.
They take time. That's the reason we love live. There's no editing. We get to interact with you guys and answer questions. But the regular videos, because of our voiceover and everything like that, those do take time. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you hit that little bell notification, because I will tell you when we upload a video and it's ready to be watched. So make sure you guys do that. Or what are we doing?
Just going to show the stuff we did today.
And just bear with us. We might not be doing as many lives because there's a lot of filming we have to do. Sean is showing you all the different things. Our first one we learned our lesson on.
Yes, we learned our lesson.
I will show you guys if you were not here in the beginning. This was where I didn't use any pressure. And then when I removed it, I picked it up very quick and it peeled off. So, well, look at that.
It's turning itself off because we haven't moved. It hasn't done anything for 10 minutes.
Is that what it's doing? Or was it because we had too many stuff on it?
I don't know. I think it's.
I thought it was because we put stuff on it and it's saying like, "Get it off me." Like, let's see.
I doubt it. I think it's probably telling it's time to turn. It's probably turning itself off.
Huh?
Or it's getting to a point that it will turn off. I don't know.
Well, look at that. It's blinking. So yeah, maybe it is. Look at that.
There it is. Turned itself off.
Oh, it went to bed.
Thanks, Mel.
That must be time to be done with our video.
I guess we're done.
The EasyPress has shut itself off. 10 minutes of talking. That's awesome. Yeah. You guys, I love this thing. I have to say, I am so impressed. I think this was an amazing release for Cricut. I think it's a home run. I've only obviously just got it, but I love the safety built in. I love that it's super hot, but you don't burn yourself. It doesn't take a lot. It's awesome. The cord, I want to say
I would say almost 6 feet.
It's got to be. I think
it's 6. Let's find out real quickly. We're going to turn this around real quick. And we're going to start. Ooh, don't want to pull that off.
Okay, you got that. Hold that there.
I got that. Could even be set. Whoops.
Oh, well, I said to hold that there. Did you not?
Okay. It is.
Okay, let go.
Okay, I'm going to let go of that end.
How much would 6 feet be? Well, this is 60 inches there.
That's 6 feet. So it's
it's got to be about 7.
Maybe.
Well, let go. That's where 6 feet was.
8.
That's 7. 8 feet.
So 8 feet long. I take that out. 8 feet long for all those who want to know.
8 foot. Are you sure? 60 inches is 5 feet.
60 inches is 5 feet. You did 2 more, right? 24?
Yeah, 5. 6, so it's 7 foot. You thought 60 inches was 6 feet. That's not.
No. 60 inches is 5 feet.
So it's 7 foot.
7 foot. Take that back. 7 feet. 7 feet. 7 feet.
Sean doesn't know how to add.
No, I'm done.
That's funny. All right, guys. So any other questions before we are done for the night? I hope you guys got all your questions answered. Thanks for sticking around and being with us during that hour long. But just want to do those projects for you. I think this is great. I think we're using the bright pad along with it is amazing and stuff. So as soon as it comes back in stock, guys, I wouldn't wait.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Make sure to share this. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself at the Ken's Kreations Facebook page or in any of the groups. All right, guys. All right. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Where's my end button?
Oh, I don't know.
Did I hit? No, I didn't. I hit cancel. Oh, goodness gracious for me. There we go.